All right, guys, it's really an amazing time and opportunity to talk about another project. And today we are looking at dynamic libraries. Okay, so it's going to be, let's first look at how the program is going to be. We'll look at some meaning, some concept about dynamic libraries so that you have an understanding of what to expect about the project. So quickly, before we even do anything, let's see what we have here. First, you have to understand the concept about dynamic library. I believe you've worked on static library before now. So we are now looking at dynamic libraries. What exactly is this dynamic library? You can call it shared library because that's where the concept came from. It's a collection of predefined code, a code that was written and that you can use over and over again in your program. So it can be loaded and linked with a program at runtime. All right. Then this code, they contain functions, variables, symbols that can be used by multiple programs. So that's the concept of dynamic dynamic libraries. After now, we look at the benefit of dynamic libraries over static libraries. So let's just leave it at that for now. Let's jump right in to take a look at the concept we have today. So, all right. So first, we will be creating the basic files. As you can see, we'll create the readme.md file, readme.md. Then we have the underscore pucha file. Then we are going to create the main.h file. Then before we start working on the individual files. So let's jump right in. So the first one, if we come here, we do vi readme. Let me just put this down a little. All right, vi readme.md. Okay, so I have this, and yeah, just a little explanation. You should have a readme, so you could go on to create yours. This is just a simple readme for this file. So again, this easy and straight to the point. Create a readme file. So once you are done, you go shift control shift wq. So you exit. The next thing we are looking at, we're going to create the underscore pucha.c file. It's an important file we are going to be needing in our work. Okay, so it's here. You don't need to bother your head about that because you were given that. So it was given here. So what you just need to do, you create the file using vi underscore pucha.c. All right, that's the name of the file. So this is the content of that file. Just pick it up from here because it was given. So you just pull it from here and include it in that file. So if I hit enter, you see that. Okay, so you come here, you paste. So quickly, we just pull the file from here because they gave us here. So I just go ahead and pull it and come back here and paste that here. All right, so this is it, the underscore pucha file. So at the end, I'm going to exit, skip, colon, wq. All right, so so after creating that, the next file we are creating is the main.h file. Main.h file. Again, if you look here, of course you should. Here we have, yes, this is it, the main.h file. So what will be the content of that file? Quickly, if we look down, you see that here create the dynamics, a dynamic library. this containing all the function listed below. So all of this we are going to be, all of this function prototype will be the content of our main.h file. So all of that will be in the content of our main.h. So the next thing we'll quickly create now, after creating the underscore picture file, is the main.h file. So I'll just come here and do vi. So after creating the underscore picture file, we'll quickly create the next file, which is the main.h file. So I'll come here and do vi main.h, just like so, and hit enter. So what will form the content of this our main.h file? If you come here, you see create the dynamic library dyne.so containing all the function listed below. So this function prototype are going to form the content of our main.h file. So I'll go ahead and pull them from here. I'll copy them and come down here, and I'm just going to paste them here. So is that all? No. Before we quickly create the file, the guard, the header file guard for these files. Okay, to do that, I believe you've used guard, header file guard before now. So I'm just going to shift that. I'll quickly create that, and I'll tell you why we are including that. So it's just if not defined, that's called, it's just our normal main.h, but this time in cap underscore. Instead of putting .h, you are going to put underscore. So you can do it like this, or you can also do it like this. I like doing mine like this. So then I'll add the other one. After if not defined, you do define. They always go together. Then we have main underscore h, just like so. So this is our header file guide, and after that you are going to come down at the last function prototype. You are going to end that. You're going to end that by doing and if, then we do this just like this, and yeah, ending this. So just do a comment to show that okay, this is what we have ended. So we are ending, what are we ending? Main underscore h, then underscore. So then we're going to close that off. So quickly, we use these two together. If not defined, this means if not defined, define main.h. Instead of putting dot, you use underscore, like I said earlier. Like I said, they are file guard, or we include guard to prevent multiple inclusion. So why we are using header file guard is important to prevent multiple definitions of types, function, prototype, like we have here, and undefined behavior. So that is why we are using this guard. So that is that. So after that, then let's escape. WQ. So we have succeeded in creating our main.h file. So we will now start creating the individual files. If you come here, we look at the first task we have here. That would be, yes, create the dynamic library containing all of the functions listed below. So these are function prototype. And if you look at this carefully, you discover that these are some of these files. They were in the project we worked on, that static library. So you will just quickly go to your static library directory, and you are going to pull all these files. You see them just like so. pull all these files and put them and create them in a as separate files. Okay, so if you do that, just go to your start. You don't have to do this afresh. Go to your static library project, pull the files. You see them here. All of this underscore pucha is lower, is alpha, ABS is upper, is digit, is predefined. Pull them. So if you do that successfully, you have something like this. You see, these are the files. All right, these are the files, and let me check the content of what so that you see what we have there. Let's say 0 is upper.c. So if I hit enter, you see, so just go there and pull those files here, because the essence of this is to create a dynamic library. So you are not learning how to create how to check if uppercase letter or lowercase. They just want you to use those files in here in this function prototype to do that. So yeah, just pull that from there and you have all of that. So you create all of that. So one quickly before we are going to create the file we are asked to create, the live dynamics.s. So you have to check all these files if they are Betty compliant. So to do that, we are going to check with Betty all of them at the same time. So to check all of them, you do Betty. Going to use the white card, then .c. We are going to check all the .c files if they are Betty compliant before we talk about compilation. So if I hit enter, it's just going to begin to check all the .c files I've created there. If there is any white space or any of such in the file, so it's going to run that check quickly. So I advise you do the same. You check, you check, you check, check. All right. So all right, it's checking the last one. All right, so you see that all of that is clean. There is no white space or any of such in the file. So after that, we are going to go on to create this live dynamics.so file. Okay, so because I created a guide, we look at our guide, so that creating a dynamic library. So you can see these are step-by-step guide. Create the header file, which we have done. Create the C files, which we have done, all of them. Then create the main.c. In this case, we created the underscore pucha file. Okay, then create the object files from the .c files. That is exactly what we are going to do now. That is what we are going to do now. So we are going to use this, and I will explain why we have this. We are going to use this code to create the object files from the .c file. So copy this, you see it here. I will explain what we have here. So first, copy that and hit back here. Let me expand this a little. So I'm going to put that code here. Understand what we are doing. We want to create the object files from the .c file. So if I put that first, I'll hit enter, then I'll run, and it's going to return. So if I list now, you discover that a replica .o files have been created for all of the .c files. As you can see, you have a replica of my files. Any .o file will be replicated. Any .c files, you have a duplicate .o file. That is what that code does. Let me throw a little light so that you understand why we have that. We are not just here to write the code. We are here to also tell you why we are doing what we are doing. Of course, you should know that JCC is the GNU compiler compilation to compile. Okay, then we have this PIC. This is a flag. Okay, the F is a flag. That small lowercase f is a flag, and this is this stands for position independent code for creating shared libraries. That is what this stands for. All right, just a flag for creating shared libraries. Then it means that we want to compile all our .c file. This is a wildcard to compile all .c files. Want to compile them into object file. So that is exactly what we have done. So this simply tells the compiler to produce object files. All right, I believe you understand that. So that's the step we have taken. So after that, what else do? We come back here, and you see we want to create the dynamic library from the object code that we generated earlier. We generated object code. So to do that, we are going to do gcc shared object library, the name of the dynamic library we are creating, which they gave us, and it ends with the file extension .n, so which means that it is a shared library. So that is exactly what we have there. So I'm going to copy this code. By the way, I will leave this document to be the description so that you can go through, so that at any point you are confused, you can look through it. So we're going to copy that. I'll come back here and I'll paste. Oh, sorry, not this. So I'll come back here to my terminal. I'm going to paste that. All right, so we want to create a shared library called this from the object file. That's what this means. So if I hit enter, okay. So if I list now, you discover that shared library has been created. All right, that has been created. So just before I push this code, all of these files, they are so, they are so lengthy, there are so many, and if you push that to GitHub, it's going to produce lengthy files. I want to wrap all of these files in a directory. I want to create a small mini directory to house all of these files, so that your project will not be so, there won't be so many files lining all about in the project. So to do that, I'll just create a small directory, mkdir arrow. I'll call it functions. All right, I'll call it function. So what I want to do now, I want to move all of the .o and .c file into that function. So to do that, I'll use mv move. Okay, first let's ascertain that we have that created. All right, you see a function has been created. So I want to move mv all .c files. I want to move them into that. So I'll use the wildcard.c and move all the .c files to where? To my directory function. So I'll use / to indicate that I'm moving them to function. So if I hit enter, it's going to move. If I list now, you see that all .c files here. I believe you are following. If you are confused, guys, please drop your question so that I'll answer. I want this to be as explanatory as possible. So I will move the .c. I want to move all the .o files again to that mini directory which I created. So how do I do that? Again, I use my wildcard. Okay, before then use mv, my wildcard.o files, we moved them to where? To the directory functions. All right, so if I hit enter, it's going to move that. If I list now, see that yes, here is very clean. You can see that this is very clean now. So I have all of that. I have my limit. I have this little function that houses all the .c and .o files. So it's very perfect. So here now I can do git add, git commit, -m. I'll put my commit message. Sorry. Okay. Created lib dynamics .so file. All right. So that's my commit message. Then do that. Then I'll do git push to push that code, that first one we created. We're gonna push it to GitHub. So yes, I'll push that. So after that, let's see what we have done by checking our code. So to check, I'll just slide this over here and let's run our checks. Okay, so like that. All right, all the checks are correct. So I'll close this. You see, that's the first one we've checked. We'll quickly move to the next one to create the next files. I believe you understand. If you have any question, please drop it in the comments. I want this video to be as explanatory as possible. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. So next, we want to create this. We want to create a script that creates a dynamic library called liball.so from all the .c files that are in the correct directory. So that is exactly what we want to do now. So I'll quickly come down here and pick the file name. This is the file script we want to create. One create dynamic live.sh. So I'll copy the name, come here, vi, and I'll paste the file name. Okay. All right. So what is going to be the content of this file? We are creating a script to remember. So to do that, we are going to use this. This is going to form, since we are creating a script, that is why we have bin bash. You see that bin bash we have there because we are creating a script. Then we have this. It simply is a shebang command that simply tells the system to use the bash shell to execute the script. That is why we have that. We have GCC, which I explained earlier. Then we have wall extra. All of this. You see this wall extra, westra. It tells the compiler to show all warning messages. Okay, all warning messages should be shown if there is any. That is why we are using this. Then we have where it's a flags that treats all warning as error. Warning during compilation should be treated as error. That is why we are using this. Please, I'm explaining this. This is not just about to show you the answers. I'm trying to explain so that you understand why we have what we have. And this we have pedantic. This enforces strict compliance with C language. That is what this do. And this is telling the compiler to produce object files. Then I've explained this earlier. This is a flag, okay, which we talked about earlier, position independent code for creating shared libraries. So we are targeting all .c files. Then we are creating a shared library with this. If you look at that code here, this is a variable, an environment variable that the system uses to find the shared library. This export an environment. and we are adding a directory. Add the directory with this dot tells the system where to look for the shared library. So I believe you understand that. Copy this. So I'll go back here and paste. All right. So okay, seems terabyte card. Let me ensure that they are. So after doing that, after putting that content, I'll do a skip. Oh, let me. Okay. Skip column W2. After doing that, after creating this one create dynamic live.sh, the next thing we're going to do, we are going to make that file. We've created that file. We are going to make it an executable file. So to do that, I'll just use this command chmod, which stands for change mode, chmod u plus x, and the name of that file. So I'll copy this. I want to make it an executable file. So hit enter and list now. We are going to see that the file is an executable file, right? So after doing that, I'm going to run chmod change mode. We start for change mode, then u plus x. We want to make it an executable file. So I'll copy the file here. And I'll paste the file name. I want to change the mode to chmod u plus x, then hit enter. All right. So if I list now, you see that's created. So see that file created, that be created successfully. So we're going to do git add. I want to add that file I created. Git commit. And then the message. And just going to add that added. Then git push. We're going to push that. So after pushing, let's check the code. So start creating that. So let's check together. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, you can see this is all correct. So this is all correct. Please like, subscribe to the channel, and follow us, because I will do my best to explain every step I take. So we'll go to the next file. Okay, so after that, we move to the next one. You can see it's checked. I've done that already. So, and again, I'm going to have a separate video I'm going to explain how I did that in a separate video. Okay, so you can see the next one is checked. They both are checked correctly. So I'm going to explain how I did that in the next video. Okay, I'll see you then.